Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and today I'm going to be reporting on our 3-0 victory over Stoke City at the Emirates Stadium against a Stoke team that certainly didn't resemble the same outfit that we played a couple of weeks ago when they beat us 3-2 at the Britannia. I don't know what it was with them today. They seemed to show a real lack of ambition, fight in the middle of the park, and even though they said with a very physical presence, they didn't seem to be able to bully us off the park, which I think was their game plan in this one, to attack with the likes, counter-attack should I say, with the likes of Bohan, Arnautovic and Peter Crouch up top. I mean, they rested the likes of Stephen Ireland, Stephen Sidwell for this game, who had an impact in the second half, while the likes of Nzonzi, Glenn Whelan, big physical presences that I thought were really overrunning the midfield. And I think the main key pivotal figure in our midfield today was certainly Francis Coquelin, who I just want to briefly discuss before anyone else, because I think that he was so crucial to our game today. I don't think he's the most technically gifted of players, but what he does, he certainly does a job in midfield. He's an excellent squad player to have. The real test for him is next week against Manchester City, but he was class today in midfield. Well, you know, what I like about the guy is, like I say, he's not the most technically gifted, but he's hard to play against. He's not going to make it easy for teams. He does pick up the odd yellow card now and then, but as opposed to someone like Flamini, he actually gets about 80-90% of his tackles on point, and he makes it very difficult for the opposition. He knows when to break teams down. He's very good at breaking up play in the middle of the park, and he was kind of really at the heart of our midfield, and a lot of his tackles in midfield were key for us in leading to attacks which inevitably led to goals. So I think he was a real key figure in the team. I just thought it was worth mentioning Francis Coquelin at the start of the video, just before I get into anything else. The team that we started with was very, very, very strong on, and we had the likes of Aaron Ramsey, Theo Walcott and Mesut Ozil on the bench, who we could all boast, and we saw the likes of Kieran Gibbs and Callum Chambers rested for this game. I always thought this game would be very difficult to play against because Stoke away from home, I know that they haven't got the best record away from home, but they have picked up some impressive results, such as a 1-0 victory against Everton, and their game plan today was really to set up against us with the likes of Nzonzi, Whelan in midfield, make it hard for us to break them down. But that game plan went all out the window when we scored in the 6th minute through Laurent Koscielny. Alexis Sanchez putting it on an absolute plate for him, and it was kind of Whelan that actually left Koscielny absolutely free in the box, and it was a really simple header for Koscielny, put it in the box, put it in the back of the net for 1-0, and it was really easy from there on in, because Stoke had to come out and play against us. Then their game plan of sitting back and defending against us and counter-attacking really didn't work, because they had to come out of their shell and they had to try and play against us, which they didn't really do, because we continued to dominate possession and we had more and more chances throughout the course of the game. And the next real talking point was Mathieu Debuchy picking up an injury, which I feel really sorry for the guy, because he's just come back from a serious injury and now potentially he's got another one with a dislocated shoulder. I don't think he'll be out any longer than about, I'm hoping he won't be out any longer than a month, but it's really hard to tell with this kind of injury. We haven't really heard much on it yet, but I do feel really sorry for him. He's a player that could have a real big impact on our season, but unfortunately he's not been able to string a run of games together. Very injury prone at the moment. But the real positive that we can take out is Hector Bellerin, when he came on, absolutely sublime going forward, and defensively I thought he put in a really good shift. If he can replicate those kind of performances away from home, where I think he does struggle a bit, then we've got a real talented player on our hands. Maybe against City next week, I would be more inclined to start Callum Chambers just for a bit more defensive stability. I mean, the only real criticism I can give of Bellerin is that maybe he pushes forward a little bit too much, but that's the modern day fullback. He does give his all in every game, and at home he's really putting in some good performances, so that's another positive that we can take out today. And then shortly after the Debuchy injury, just after the 30-minute mark, positives coming back into the team yet again. Alexis Sanchez, world-class goal. I mean, this is what we paid the money for with him. He's looking absolute quality game by game by game, and this created it all on its own. A 1-2 of Thomas Rosicky. Stoke got absolutely split apart, failed to close him down, and it was really Stoke that kind of gave this goal away themselves by giving the ball to Alexis Sanchez about 25 yards away from their own goal, and he cuts in. The placement, the audacity to have that shot, absolutely sublime for him. Just tucking inside the left, right to the right of Begovic. Absolute quality goal from him to make it 2-0. And from there on in, it was really easy for us. We dominated possession. We had more and more chances, and then we went into that second half absolutely cruising. And Stoke, they brought on the likes of Ireland, etc., to really shore things up in midfield, to maybe come out against us and play against us and try to get a goal. But then again, their game plan went out the window yet again when we scored in the 49th minute through Alexis Sanchez once more. Oxlade-Chamberlain winning the free kick, who had an absolute class game yet again today. He was all over the pitch, causing Stoke a load of problems. Great physical presence for us. I hope he starts against City next week. And Alexis Sanchez taking a free kick. It was a clever word, free kick. I mean, the Stoke wall completely collapsed. It was poor from Stoke for their midfield to their wall to totally split apart, should I say. And it went in. Begovic kind of saved it. It went in on the post, and then he kind of fumbled it into his own net. It was kind of an own goal. It was a good Alexis Sanchez free kick, but it goes down as And Alexis Sanchez goal, great work from him to do that, and he certainly deserved that brace. Man of the match by some distance today. But then again, it was an all-round good team performance to come out of this game with 3 points to our name, with 3 goals. I honestly didn't think it would be as easy as this, but Stoke really did roll over for us today. If we would have been playing any other team, maybe it would have been a different story, but I thought we were really convincing. It was good to see Mesut Ozil come back into the team as well for the last 20 minutes of the game. I thought he looked really good when he came on, made a lovely flick to Nacho Monreal, and the cohesion between him and Walcott and Sanchez looked really good today, and if that can continue, then it's going to be really exciting for us in the future going forward. And when we got, I mean, the attacking options we've got now, Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, Theo Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Joel Campbell, Olivier Giroud, Danny Welbeck, all these attacking array of players. I mean, the rotation we could have up top, the different things we can try. It's really exciting going into the new year, and hopefully it's going to be really prosperous for us. Ozil is going to be absolutely key, and he looks bulkier as well. I think that's a big thing. He looked a bit more, I think this would always be a hard game for him to start in, but he looked a lot more physical when he came into the game. He was putting tackles in, he wasn't afraid to duck out of challenges, and he was always running after the ball, and that's something that I think he's really been criticised for lately. He does look a lot bulkier, and hopefully he'll be able to deal with the English Premier League a lot easier from here on in, and it was just good to see him get back on the pitch. Walcott should have made it 4-0. He absolutely blazed a shot wide, and I'm not too concerned about the Walcott misses them out. I know he's had about 2 chances in a couple of games, which he should have put in the back of the net realistically, but he's just come back from a long-term injury. He gets into good positions. Let's not forget that pretty much everything he's doing is absolutely spot on. It's just a case of putting the ball in the back of the net, which I'm sure with time will come. He does look rusty. It's good to have him back in the team. I don't know if I'll start him against City. I think against City I'll be inclined to start a front 3 of maybe Giroud, Chamberlain, and Alexis Sanchez up top, maybe just to deal with the physicality of those Man City defenders, and then have Ozil playing in behind those 3. That's something that I'm really excited to see. Cazorla also had another good chance in this game, which he dinked just onto the roof of the net, which unfortunately didn't go in. It would have been a great goal if it had, but I mean, we could have won this game 5 or 6-0. The chances that came our way, and it would have been nice if we could have done, but 3-0 is really comprehensive. We certainly got revenge on our loss at the Britannia Stadium a couple of weeks ago. And we've got a big game against City next week where, you know, hopefully we can get something out of that game. I mean, it'd be great if we could come out of that game with a win. It is a big test for us, and we do struggle against the big teams, especially away from home. This is a great opportunity to make a statement. We've got a couple of wins on the bounce now. We're playing really good football. If we replicate this kind of performance next week, then I'm confident we can come out of the game with something. Anyway, guys, those will be my thoughts on our 3-0 victory over Stoke City this afternoon. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like, rate, and subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game. You know what to do, and I'll speak to you soon.